I reported yesterday on how the Metropolitan Police were among several forces to have used an unlawful AI database for facial recognition, which would bring up images that closely resembled a person's photo uploaded and then link to where the database found the image. You remember how I said this would be an intelligence gatherer's wet dream? Well, now it appears the Met Police have been collecting children's personal data from social media sites as part of a project to carry out profiling on a large scale. Project Alpha is said to help fight serious crime using intelligence gathering to identify offenders and help with the removal of, in their words, videos glorifying stabbings and shootings from platforms such as YouTube. Although you can bet your ass this won't be the only kind of content they use this intelligence for. In 2019, the Home Office funded £5 million for a 30-strong unit which is said to spend their time scouring social media sites, looking for drill music videos and other content. Hi Met. Nothing to see here. Move along. A document said to have been seen by the Guardian newspaper says the project will carry out profiling on a large scale, with males aged 15 to 21 the main focus of the project. However, after questioning Metropolitan Police, they said both of these were a mistake. Of course they were a mistake. Hang on, they weren't a mistake until you got found out about it. It wasn't a mistake for the past 3 years, but it suddenly is. What a joke. This is just like the Gangs Matrix, a database allegedly full of young black children focusing on signs of criminality. I assume this new Project Alpha is to make it more inclusive and less discriminatory. Campaigner Stafford Scott said that he feared the project was part of a continued assault on young black people. Young people use social media to magnify their lived experience, he said. It is a tool for projection. You can't rely on it for detection. It is a racially motivated, racially driven, and involves racial stereotypes. Well, I would agree with a database that solely fixates on young black kids as being racist, or people of any specific background, without holding databases about others. But is a database about children in general, like everybody's children, racially motivated, racially driven, and involve racial stereotypes? The Met did say, however, that they scoured the scheme for signs of racial bias and, of course, found none anyway. Not that the police's word means anything these days, but as I say, if it's a general database of all children, which I don't agree with, by the way, but unfortunately, whether I agree with it or not has no relevance here, as they're going to do it anyway, and the information contained within is the same kind of information for all of those on the list, then I can't see how that can be deemed as being racist. It will be used against our kids the same way anyway, whether they're black or white, let's be honest. The document says males aged 15 to 21 will be targeted and promises not to share information about young people without a compelling reason. Where it asks, will there be systematic monitoring or profiling on a large scale or in a public place, the response said yes, but the rest of that answer is apparently mostly blanked out. It also asks, will the project carry out profiling on a large scale? The box for yes was ticked by the Met. The answer continues, the meaning of large scale is not defined in the Data Protection Act 2018, but this may include activities such as using existing data to identify an individual for operational purposes or review. Asked whether the project will process children's personal data for profiling or automated decision making or for marketing purposes, the police reply said yes, and added the project is focused on reducing serious youth violence and many of those involving directly or indirectly are under the age of 18. A full name and gang affiliation is to be recorded, it says. The Metropolitan Police said the inclusion of the demographic 15 to 21-year-olds was an error. As we do not profile on a large scale, they said, we cannot provide any demographic of individuals who are involved in uploading harmful content online. We do not seek to identify personal information about those posting the videos, and as such we hold limited personal data, predominantly just the videos themselves. If you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. Asked why officers had ticked yes to a box asking if the project would carry out profiling on a large scale, The Met added, the checking of the yes box at point 10 of this early response is incorrect. The Metropolitan Police declined to give a number or ages of those Alpha looks at, or broad criteria such as whether suspicion about an individual is needed. The document says the scheme has been designed to combine, compare or match data from multiple sources and uses new technologies or the novel use of existing technologies. In the document, police justify their decision not to tell young people that they're subject to the interests of Project Alpha, as this may impact on their behaviour and result in more offending. Now, is it just me, and feel free to differ, but does anyone else think that it's odd that the police think that telling someone they're under observation will lead to them committing more offending? I mean, the police use observations to limit offending, such as being on tag, being on a sexual harm prevention order, being on probation. Granted, not all of these things prevent offending, but they certainly don't go towards making people offend more. Be honest, is it just me who thinks that statement is contradictory and is the complete opposite of what it would achieve? Again, we fall back on this whole information collection, this whole intelligence gathering, and the simple fact that the police can keep that intelligence away from us and not have to tell us when every other organisation in the country has to share their information with us, unless obviously it's to prevent crime, which you would think sharing the data would prevent crime. And it just seems like another joke that we're all being made the butt of.